Let's be real, you're a man. You want respect from other men, and you want girls to like you. It all starts with having this masculine aura and this confidence about yourself that is undeniable. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down 2 things that you need to master if you want to have that unbreakable confidence and that masculine aura that people are just naturally drawn to. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going through a masculinity crisis nowadays. We have guys that are not led by their purpose, by their mission. Instead, they're led by their lust and their emotion. Now, let's go over 2 things that you need to master and understand to the deepest level to unlock that true masculine aura and be different from everybody else. So the first one, you need to understand this. You need to be in a constant pursuit of more. Whether that be your physique, going to the gym, right? Constantly trying to achieve more, constantly trying to build more muscle, constantly trying to get a more aesthetic physique. Or maybe you're trying to be stronger, constantly trying to get stronger, whatever you want to do. But constantly pursuing more. Whether that be in business, right? Trying to make more money, trying to escape your 9 to 5. In every aspect of your life, you should be in a constant pursuit of more. Your brain needs to be tunnel vision on the task in front of you, on your action tasks every single day. Okay, because here's the truth. Being passive is your biggest enemy. Learn this, fellas. Being passive is your biggest enemy. And if you don't remember anything from this video, remember that sentence. A passive mind will kill you. This is why most guys are just so soft and so weak. Okay, it's because their mind is passive. It's because their mind isn't occupied on their mission, right? They might go to work for 7 hours, but they come home and they turn on Netflix and start watching Game of Thrones, right? Instead of being occupied, instead of being consumed and escaping your 9 to 5, instead of being consumed with wanting more out of life. You guys understand? So wanting more out of life and being in that constant pursuit, that constant mode of inaction, that mode of always being in action, always being in pursuit of more is what truly allows you to step into who you are in a masculine way. And once you step into that masculine side, fellas, I'm telling you, you're going to start to see the world from a whole different perspective and you're going to start to feel like the man. Okay? So understand that being passive is your biggest enemy. Now, understand this as well. Passiveness sometimes will disguise itself as being in action. What do I mean by this? Let's say you work a job 5 days a week, 7 hours a day, right? You clock in every single weekday to that job. You're emotionally invested, you're physically invested to that job. So you feel like you're in that mode of action, but the truth is you're really not. Because you come home from that 9 to 5 and you flip on Netflix, you flip on, YouTube, you watch a movie, you might beat your meat, you might watch porn, right? Because you lack the self-belief to get any more out of life, right? So these things, that's the second key, by the way, self-belief. I just spoiled it. But these things go hand in hand, okay? The pursuit and the self-belief are the 2 pillars that's going to drive up your masculine aura and your confidence like crazy. So keep in mind, these things go hand in hand. Now, yeah, like I said, you might go to a job and you might feel like you're being productive and you feel like you're physically and emotionally invested into wanting more out of life. But the truth is, you look up 5 years later and you're still in the same financial spot that you were. You're not really getting more out of life. You're not living up to your full potential. Because like I said, you lack the self-belief to realize that you can make more out of yourself. Right? So you become content in your job you're working. You become content in how your life is right now. So here's the thing, bro. Passive men become emotional train wrecks, right? These passive guys, they become emotionally all over the place. Why? Because their brain isn't occupied with the important shit. And that's where a lot of passive men start to overinvest and overcommit to these girls because that's all they're worried about. Right? Their brain isn't occupied with that important shit. Their brain isn't occupied with constant action tasks, to keep them busy, to keep them on their purpose. They have no other choice but to constantly worrying about what she's doing, why she hasn't texted you back, who she's hanging out with, all this other random shit that really doesn't matter. Okay? So the second you start putting your pursuit at the forefront of your life is when you can put girls on the back burner. And here's the thing, these girls love the ambition. This is what girls are attracted to on a biological level because it screams that you're capable. It screams that you will make more out of this life for you and for her. Girls will tell you they want to be the center of your universe, but the truth is they don't want that. They want your purpose, your mission, and your goals. And you to be the most important thing in your life. Never forget this, okay? So girls want that ambition. Girls want a guy with motion, constantly doing new stuff, constantly leveling up, and constantly being that guy who she can depend on that will be on his purpose. Now, the problem with society today is that we're flooded with instant gratification. You know, guys go to the gym for 3 months, get bored because they're not seeing results, then they quit, right? They don't have that grit, that determination, that ambition, like we talked about, to keep their nose on the grindstone and keep grinding no matter what is on the outside. It's 1% better every day, and if you keep stacking that 1%, you're gonna look up in 5, 10 years and notice like, damn, I came a long way. But you know, day to day, you don't realize how far you're coming. But what I'm getting at is that our society is just always with this instant gratification bullshit. We want something so we get it right now. Amazon Prime shipping, you're gonna get it tomorrow, right? But the problem is, bro, this isn't how life works. Okay, if you wanna build a decent physique, you need to go to the gym for at least a damn year, bare minimum, right? If you wanna build a successful business, you need to take losses. You need to just grind for years and years. You don't start to see results in this shit until way down the line. That's why most guys give up, and that brings me into my next point, self-belief, right? This is the foundation of masculinity, self-belief, okay? If you lack that self-belief, you are gonna enter that state of being passive. You lack that self-belief, so you think, oh, I won't even try. I won't even try to escape my 9 to 5. I won't even try to build that physique. I won't even try to build that business. I won't even try with that girl. I wasn't gifted with those skills and those abilities to do that. You need to eliminate this self-doubt as soon as possible because this is only keeping you down. It's all up here, fellas. If you believe that you can build that physique that you want, that 10 out of 10 aesthetic physique, go do it and know that you can. It all starts with knowing that you can do it. Let's say you're a short guy. If you navigate the world every single day thinking, oh man, I'm so short, I can't go talk to that girl, she won't like me, I'm too short. That's gonna become your new reality because you're putting these barriers, these limitations on your self-belief and who you can become as a person. You're never gonna step out and step into that masculine man that you can be because you have these limiting self-thoughts. Like I said, if you're a short guy and you believe, damn, I can't get the girl that I really want because I'm just too short. You're never gonna get her, right? Because you don't have the balls, you don't have the nuts, you don't have the self-belief to know that you can do anything you want. And it's crazy how many guys really lack true self-belief. Yeah, you can say I'm so confident, this and that, I believe in myself, but do you really? Ask yourself, do you really? Because this is the harsh reality. Having a strong sense of self-belief allows you to be stoic. Now, this word stoicism is just thrown around nowadays. If you want to be stoic, you need to be emotionally focused on what really matters in life. And that brings me to how these things are interlinked, okay? You need to be only focused on your pursuit. That way, you're not emotionally moved by some random bullshit in life. For example, I put right here in quotes, no need to stress, I have it all under control. Let's say you're living paycheck to paycheck. Most guys would be an emotional wreck. You know, thinking, oh my God, how am I gonna pay rent this month? Oh my God, what the hell am I gonna do? Do I need to start selling my TV? Just, you know, kind of flipping out. Their emotions are all over the place because they lack that strong sense of self-belief. They don't trust the fact that if shit hits a fan, they can build something up from the ground up. They're in that scarcity mindset. It's the same with girls. Okay, if you have a scarcity mindset with girls, that means you don't trust in your ability to go out and attract new girls. So instead of operating from a foundation of abundance, you operate on a foundation of scarcity. So you overinvest into that girl, right? You need to rewire your brain and rewire how you look at yourself, really, to realize that, you know, I have the skills to make more money than I can now. I have the skills to get more girls. I have the skills to build that physique. I have the skills to do whatever I put my mind to. And that brings me to the final point of this video. Self-belief is really self-trust. Okay, these words are literally interchangeable. Self-belief is self-trust. And how do you build that self-trust? It's keeping steady on the route of pursuit. Like we said over here, the route of pursuit, staying steady on that no matter your feelings. And this is how you develop that true self-belief that can't be shaken. Okay? You're so focused on your pursuit that you know if shit hits a fan financially with your relationship, you can go find something else. You can produce more. You can make more money. You can find a different girl because you acquired the skills to do so because you're in that pursuit, right? The pursuit is everything. Okay, and the second you make the pursuit everything and you have that self-belief, that's when you can unlock that true masculine aura and that confidence, right? Because you will move different. I'm telling you, you will move different whenever you know that you're capable, okay? Capability is everything. So you need to be on that pursuit, on your purpose every single day. Have those blinders on, right? Stop being so focused on the now. What am I getting now? No, focus for 5-10 years, then reevaluate, okay? Focus on building that physique. Focus on building that business. Focus on the little stuff right now, the action steps, okay? This is what's most important. Trust yourself that you will stay steady on this pursuit no matter your feelings, because I'm gonna be honest, bro. There's days I don't feel like going to the gym. There's days I don't feel like making YouTube videos, but I still do it because I owe that to myself, right? And that's the problem with these guys. They take the easy way out. Okay, they choose watching Netflix, watching Game of Thrones, watching the Nelk Boys podcast, instead of working, instead of grinding, instead of being on that pursuit, right? You know, beating your meat instead of actually just going out and meeting girls, taking the easy route out. And it's killing your masculinity, bro. That's all I got.